What's up, everybody? Thanks for joining me on these analysis. We're going to be looking at SOFI today. We're going to be going over some indicators. So when you take a look here, you can see that we have this upward sloping trend line, and we have a steeper trend line that's been established here. Let's see if we ever come back to it. If we do, that'd be a major sell-off for that to happen, of course. Not saying that that's going to happen, especially in this near future. But it's always a possibility if we get some kind of recession or something. But we are nearing the top of this key level of support right here, support and resistance. So let's see what happens when we get there. SOFI had a very strong move off of this upward sloping trend line here, broke through all of the key levels of support and resistance, and absolutely just ripped through this key range that was acting as a key level of resistance. When you look here on the daily, you can see that inverse head and shoulders that we spoke about. You can see that pretty clear. You can see that left shoulder, the head, and so on. And we talked about the measured move from the neckline to the head. And when you measure that out, it takes you pretty much to the top of the range, or to the top of the channel. So if we do make that move to the top of this key level of resistance here, maybe we find some some resistance. We'll see. We are finding a little bit of resistance here. We got a little bit of rejection on the daily today after making it to about 21 bucks. But let's see if it can continue to push higher. It's looking very, very bullish. We've been talking about this for an extended period. We were saying that it's either a cup and handle or inverse head and shoulders when we were over here. And we were also talking about accumulating on this move to the downside because nothing changed with the company fundamentally. And now we're starting to see that at the moment, this thing has been absolutely ripping to the upside. And I think it's a good, addition to your portfolio for the next 10, 15, 20 years. Long-term mindset, dollar cost averaging in. It'll help you on your way to creating financial freedom and early retirement. Not financial advice, of course, but this should be a decent play over the upcoming years. And when we look at the SMAs, you can see the 20 was pushing downward and it's already starting to curl back up. And we have the 50 pushing above the 200, and the 50 is kind of just hugging to the upside. Here on the daily, you can see we actually got the 50 pushing above the 200. And whenever we get moves like that, they're usually pretty significant here for SOFI. As you can see, you get this move and you start to get a nice rally to the upside. And the last time we saw that as well, the yellow, which is a 50, pushing above the green, which is a 200. You can see what happened after that. A very large move. Large move is starting. And the time before that, where the yellow moving average crossed above the green, was here. And you also had a large move as well. So time and time again, it has been kind of playing out pretty well, where you had significant moves after the yellow, the 50, crosses above the 200-day SMA. So we've had it these two times here, and then we had it over here again. So it looks like we're getting that strong move to the upside. Let's see how long it stays for. Of course, we'll be looking at other indicators to kind of give us an idea of when we should, if we're oversold or overbought, and what regions we could be finding some resistance at. When you take a look at the RSI, you can see we're actually in overbought territory now, but we just entered it. So we could see higher prices. As you can see, we made it all the way up to the 86 region here on SOFI for the RSI on the weekly. So I could definitely see that happening again. Not guaranteed, of course, but I could definitely see it playing out. Much higher than 72, which is where we're currently at. Maybe we hit the 80s or maybe even higher if we get enough momentum and the S&P 500 starts to rally and everything starts pushing up higher. Here on the daily, higher highs and higher lows, nice trend established. We got a nice bounce off the yellow moving average, and we are in overbought territory sitting at 79. So this one is a little bit higher and we are overbought. Last time we found a key level of resistance here at around 82, and we're sitting at 79, 79.9. So we could be running into some kind of resistance relatively soon. Maybe that's when we touch this key level of resistance. Maybe they coincide together, and that's when we find a little bit of rejection. But we will see, of course. And here on the weekly, we're looking very good. We have a lot of volume and momentum pushing towards the upside. We have the blue flipped above the orange, showing a nice sustainable move to the upside. And here on the daily, kind of the same thing, where we had a bull flag being formed, and then we got the red flip back to the green, and then this blue line absolutely catapulted, and now the orange is trailing it. So this is looking a little overbought as well, because last time we had our fall down in November 2024 was right there at that same region of that 146, and we are slightly underneath it. So definitely keep an eye out for that. I still think we might have some room to run a little bit more before finding at least short-term rejection. Doesn't mean that the move is over and that we're going down forever or really far down, but some kind of cool-off period more than anything. If you have looked here, you can see that we've already ran 62% from just this move here, and if you move it from the bottom, you can see that we ran 145%. So a cool-off period is to be expected. It shouldn't surprise anybody at all because of the aggressive move to the upside that it's had. And now if we pull a fib from here to the downside, this is a flipped one, you can see the 1272 could be a key level where we find resistance at. And that would line up at 21.89. So we'll see if we push up to that region and end up finding rejection, because these Fibonacci levels are relatively strong. So let's see if that's the spot that we find rejection at, or maybe if we pull it to this leg here, then maybe we find it at the 1618, which is right dead smack in the middle of this level of resistance right here, which would line up at around 23.84. So we'll see. We currently did get rejection off the 1272 off of this fib level here. So we are finding rejection there. Let's see if we find it at 21.89, because that would line up with the other 1272, which is a little bit further down. That's if we pull the fib down further. And then if we keep it here at this region, the 1618 would line up at that 23.84. So maybe that is the other level that we end up finding rejection at. Of course, we'll see with time. Like I said, I think this could be a good addition to our portfolio. Not financial advice, of course. Dollar cost averaging over the course of multiple years. SOFI is a very innovative company. They're in the fintech space. So they have a lot of, they're a pretty dynamic company with what they're doing right now. So I think they have a bright future. And make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe on the video. It really helps out the algorithm. It helps me out. I appreciate all the support on the recent videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.